Jesus Christ said, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. So shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. You see, in the Old Testament, we know that in the days of Noah, there were angels. The angels came down. There's 200 angels. They descended upon Mount Hermon, and they took women and had children with earthly women, and their offspring were called the Nephilim, the fallen ones, the giants. At the time of the Nephilim, when the Nephilim were on the earth roaming, everybody saw the Nephilim. The Nephilim were born in the days of Yared. So Yared's generation saw Nephilim. Enoch's generation saw Nephilim. Methuselah and Lamech and Noah, all the people alive at those days saw the Nephilim everywhere. At the days of Noah, Noah was alive, Lamech was alive, Methuselah was alive, Yared was alive, all at the same time. They were all alive at the same time. Did you know that Noah could speak to Lamech? Did you know that when Lamech was alive, Adam was still alive? Do you know that when Enoch was alive, Adam was still alive? Did you know that? Adam lived to 930, and in his lifespan, all the other descendants were alive at the same time. Methuselah was alive. They could all be around the same table eating dinner, and Methuselah could talk to Adam. Adam, what happened in the Garden of Eden? And he would tell him first-hand knowledge. Woo! Back to what I'm saying. In the last days, there shall be Nephilim in the earth, because it shall be like the days of Noah. Do you know that in the days of Noah, there were chimera? There was chimera or chimeras in the days of Noah. What's a chimera? A chimera is a blending of two different animal species. It's called a chimera. They had them roaming the earth at that time. It speaks about that also in the book of Yashar. It says that the fallen angels, or the angels that descended on Mount Hermon, they gave man understanding on how to blend species together. Powerful. What do we have now? We have chimeras in the labs, correct? This is where it's getting deep. It's going to blow your mind about the end days. You see, we keep on hearing there's Nephilim around now. Let me ask you this question. Have you seen a Nephilim lately? Have you seen a chimera run across your back garden? No, you have not, have you? It's going to be so deep what I'm going to share with you. It's going to be powerful, all right? Remember, in the days of Noah, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. There was Nephilim in the land. There was Nephilim roaming everywhere. Everybody saw the Nephilim. But let me ask you a question. Have you seen any Nephilim lately? I hear about them. I hear about it in some experiment inside some lab in NASA or inside some crazy lab in other countries. I hear about them making new babies and using 3 chromosomes or 3 parents to make a child and all this stuff here. I hear about all that stuff, but I have not seen none of it. Have you seen a Nephilim that's 15 miles, or that is like 25 feet high, eating humans? You have not seen it, have you? Ooh, it's gonna get deep. Are you ready for the next revelation? It's about DNA. You see, in the Old Testament, in the days of Noah, angelic DNA was impregnated into human women. And out of that union, or that releasing of angelic DNA into the human race, we had Nephilim. There are no angels in physical form on the earth having children with women. There ain't none. You would see them now, wouldn't you? It's going to be deep. Now, like I said, when I speak about end day stuff, it's always from a different angle. I want to show you something different, because it goes about the mark of the beast and where it gets powerful. You see, the Bible speaks about the mark of the beast, and everybody says it's about a chip. I was speaking to a friend the other day, or a couple of weeks ago, and he said to me that, you know, if you receive the mark of the beast, you can just take the mark of the beast. If it's a chip, you can take the chip off and get rid of it. If it's a chip, if you receive the mark of the beast into a chip, if it's a chip in your head or arm, you can easily change your mind, pull it out and throw it away. And now you haven't got the chip anymore. You see, it goes a bit more deeper than a chip. It goes a lot more deeper than a chip. The Bible said that in the days of the coming of the Son of Man, there will be Nephilim on the earth. You see, there will be angelic DNA impregnated or introduced into the human system. And when that DNA is introduced into the human system, humans will no longer be human anymore. They will become Nephilim. See, right now, if you get angelic DNA right now injected into your system, you're a human right now. But when that angelic DNA goes inside of you, you are no longer a human. You are now become a Nephilim. You are now become a hybrid. Because that has been injected and your DNA will begin to change, where you become half angel, half human. This is the reason why when the Bible says that if you receive the mark of the beast, you shall drink from the cup of God's wrath full measure, okay? You see, that means you've rejected Christ 100%. You do not want him. The Bible says that when Jesus Christ was in the Garden of Gethsemane, he said, Lord, if it be possible, let this cup pass me, the cup of God's wrath, the cup of sin. Let it pass me, but not my will, but thy will be done. See, Christ drank the cup of God's wrath for us. So because Jesus Christ drunk from the cup of God's wrath, we don't have to. See, when people receive the mark, they receive injection of angelic DNA. They will be drinking from the cup of God's wrath because they are no longer human. Because remember, Christ died for humankind, not for hybrid. So now you become a hybrid, or they become a hybrid race. They have to drink from the cup of sin themselves and pay for their sins themselves, because Jesus Christ did not die for hybrids. Powerful. So it shows you that when Christ comes back, the earth is going to be filled with hybrids. What? Human hybrids with angelic DNA being injected into them. Where did angelic DNA come from? You see, in the book of Revelation chapter 12, it says there was war in heaven. Remember, the devil, or Satan, the prince of the power of the air, he operates in a spiritual realm, the earth's spiritual realm, I call it, because he got thrust out of the he got thrust out of the third heaven. Satan is not in the third heaven, where paradise is. He got thrusted out of that when he sinned, okay? He is the prince of the power of the air. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2. He operates in the spiritual conscious realm, the second heaven, that all humans have access to, the conscious realm, the second heaven, where angels and demons reside. There was a war in heaven, and angel and Satan's angel, they all fought, and then it said that Satan got thrust out of heaven, second heaven, into the earth realm. He lost his occultarian. This is going to be crazy what I'm going to share with you, yeah? In the book of Jude, it says that the angels which kept not their first estate, but they left their own habitation, all right? The word estate, or left their first estate, that word estate means occultarian in Greek. Occultarian means covering. They took off their covering. They took off their heavenly covering. They took off their angelic robe. They took off their angelic light skin. They took it off. And in them doing that, they come out of heaven and they're on the earth and they enrobe themselves in human form, had children, angelic humans. It's madness, all right? Go into that another time. I think I have gone into that another video. What am I saying? See, when Satan is cast out of heaven, it says that he gets cast out onto the earth. He loses his occultarian. He loses his covering. He's on the earth roaming. That's where your angelic DNA comes from. Because Satan's going to be thrust out into the earth. And from that point, that angelic DNA that he's going to have is going to impregnate into human beings. And that's going to be the mark of the beast. So it may be a part of a chip. It may be like it might be some sort of connection port. I don't know. But that DNA, Satan's DNA, that he will be forcing everyone to take in the book of Revelation chapter 13 at the end, receiving the mark. Because when you receive that mark, you are changed. You are changed forever. And you can never go back. And that's the reason why you got to drink from that cup of God's wrath full measure. Because the DNA will be changed. Your DNA will, not your DNA. More maybe during the tribulation period, God's wrath, part of the tribulation, you might be listening to this. Your DNA will be changed. Don't take that DNA. Don't take that mark of the beast. Don't. Or you will be changed into a hybrid. So what am I saying now? The Bible says that in the days of Noah, or as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. See, when Jesus Christ comes back, second coming, he comes in the air for all to see. That will be like the days of Noah, and there'll be hybrids all over the place. There will be chimeras all over the place. There will be humans that are mixed with angelic DNA all over the place. Remember, it's mark of the beast stuff. It's very controversial. It can go left and it can go right. There's a lot of speculation over these things. But I'm just trying to give you a different understanding. Because in the days of Noah, there was angelic DNA mixed with human DNA. And in the days of Noah, when Christ comes back, there will be angelic DNA mixed with human DNA. There'll be two types of people. You'll have humans, 100% human, and you have hybrids on the earth. Listen, like I said, I haven't seen no hybrids on the earth recently, you know. So we must not be in those days. Now, I'm not saying we're not in the end days. We are in the end days, according to the book of Peter. He said we've been in the end days since the death of Christ. So we're living in the end days now. Things are getting worse and worse. But there are no hybrids walking around at the moment. You cannot see Nephilim with your eyes. They're not walking around. They're not roaming around. It's a sign of the time. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. It's just a thought. It's not a doctrine. It's just a thought for you to maybe contemplate and think about, you know, in your own time. It's a different angle of how to see the end days of where we're living, all right?